Hey everyone, in this video I'll show you how to start your little crab game and how to set up the classes. So when you open Greenfoot, it'll open to the last thing that you've worked on. So I'm assuming you haven't started at all. So we're going to go to Scenario and click New Java Scenario. We're going to call this the Little Crab Game. So I'm going to call it Little Crab Game like that. And for the location, I'm going to press Choose. I'm going to go to my H drive, which is on this PC. Go to my H drive, and I'm going to put it in Greenfoot and in my projects folder. So I'm going to click select, and then I'm going to click OK. And then Greenfoot will create a new scenario for you. Mine is actually over here on this screen, so I'll drag it on there and I'll close this one. So now that we have this game created, what we need to do is jump out to Google Classroom and download the images that we need for all of our actors. So on Google Classroom, I have a link to this Google Drive folder, and you need to download these images and put them in the images folder where your scenario is. I've already downloaded these 5 pictures, so I'm going to click on the 3 dots of Worm 2. I'm going to hit download. My computer asks me where I want to save things. Yours will not. It just goes to your downloads folder. So I'm going to click save like this, and you can see here are all my downloads. I'm going to click the little folder icon so I can see all my downloads. So if we make this a little bigger, you can see right here, here are the downloads that I need for this game. I'm going to highlight all of them, and I'm going to right click and hit copy. And then I'm going to go to my H drive. I'm going to go to Greenfoot, projects, and in the Little Crab Game, these are all pictures or images. So I'm going to go to the images folder. I'm going to right click and hit paste. And now I have these pictures available for me to use in my Greenfoot scenario. So now let's go back to my scenario here. I'm going to close this window and minimize this. And if you want to make sure that your pictures worked, if you make a new actor, they should be available to you on this side right here because they're in your folder. So the first thing I want to do here is set up my classes, which are my world and my actors. So let's start with the world. I'm going to double click on the world tile like this to bring up its code. And for its code here, the first thing I'm going to do is look in the constructor, and I'm going to change the size of the world. It's 600 pixels by 400 pixels. So if I want to make this really big, I'm going to choose like 1200 pixels and make it 800 pixels tall. I'm going to press compile like this. And if I want to see if it did anything, I can close that code, and now my world is bigger. I probably want some sort of background for my world, so I'm going to right click and set the image for this, and I'm going to use a built-in background from Greenfoot. I'm going to click backgrounds, and I'm just going to look for one that looks kind of like sand. So I'm going to use this one right here, and I'm going to click OK. And what should happen here is if we go to Tools and Recompile, I should get that background happening in my world. Now, we need to create an actor class for each character in our game. So let's make a new actor by right-clicking on it and hit New Subclass. Now, you can see that there are 2 crabs, 2 lobsters, and 2 worms. We're not going to create classes for all of them. We have multiple images here because we're using animation. So instead of making a crab and a crab 2, I'm just going to make one crab. I'm going to call it crab. And class names should always be capitalized. So I'm going to click crab. I'm going to click on this one and click OK. So now we have a crab class right here. You should create classes for the worm and the lobster. And if you're going to have any power-ups or anything special, you should create those classes now too.